Okay, so here we have a 2015 Vauxhall Mokka, 1.4 turbo, limited edition, full service history. Spot on, really nice people who I bought it off. Nice alloys, all tyres good. It's got current MOT. Yeah, as we know, just needs a head gasket. So I'll take the engine out, replace the head gasket. 67,000 miles. Happy days. Dilly dilly. Right, so Mokka's home. What I've got to do now is get the Cadillac out. So my plan is get it out while it's nice and dry. Put it where the Mokka is. Yeah, bring the Mokka in, and then it won't come back out until I've completed the work on it. So basically engine out, head skim and pressure test, rebuild, put it back in, drive it out, and then the caddy can go back inside. So it'll only be hopefully about a week. I'm planning on about half a day to get the engine out. I think pretty much by the end of today it'll be out. Get it tucked down to Cleeseby's. And then I'm just waiting on them then to get it skimmed and pressure tested. Maybe a couple of days. They might turn it around in a day for us. Yeah, because they know us, so they might do it a bit quicker. That's the plan anyway. Keep you updated. Dilly dilly. Right, I've had a change of plan. I'm not going to take the engine out. I'm going to do it in situ. Yeah, they're not like the Corsa. I thought with it being the Mokka, like a more SUV type, there would have been actually more space and easy to get the engine out. Looks like the only way to get the engine out is either take all the front bumper off and front end off, slam panel and lift that forward to allow the engine to come out, or take it out through the bottom. Yes, so it's not straightforward. So therefore I think I will just persevere and do it all in situ, which means the bonus, I don't have to pull the caddy out. It just means I can only work during the day when it's kind of, I guess even if it's raining it doesn't really matter. I'll just put it there. I've got my canopy there if I need to, and yeah, just crack on with it. So I'll get it swapped over now, get it in position and start stripping it down while the weather's nice. Dilly dilly. Okay, here we go with the strip down, taking the head off. As I say, this is the 1.4 turbo Ecotec engine from Vauxhall. Common issue of the head gasket failing, normally due to overheating, normally due to poor coolant pumps. Yeah, at least on the Mokka, the put a temperature gauge in it, so at least you know when the thing's overheating, unlike a Corsa. Anyway, first things I've done, I've drained the oil. A load of water came out as expected, then the oil came out, so I've drained that, put a new sump plug back on. So that's the bottom end basically done. Next, I'll take off the oil filter, which is just down here, remove that, and then that's ready just to accept the new cartridge when I get it. And then it's just a case of stripping all this top end off. I don't need to remove the battery or anything on this side really. There might be there will be the coolant thermostat, etc., which will be down here, and the housing to come off the side of the head here. I'll have all of the intake manifold to take off and the exhaust manifold, all associated cabling on the top. Airbox, I'll remove that. So basically everything around here, all the way around the engine, has to come off. There's the auxiliary pump on the side, that'll have to come off. The engine mount as well, so I'll have to put the jack underneath, support the engine at the bottom, and take the engine mount off here. So I'll just carry on in sort of time and take all that off as we go. Dilly dilly. Okay. Stripped all the left hand side off, coolant pump off, auxiliary belt, engine mount, etc, etc. Took most of the cabling off, all the injector cables, sensors, so all that's out the way. Took the coil pack off. I bet you don't miss them, bright. I've already took the oil filter out, which was pretty much sucked in. So it was, don't know what would have gone on there, because it meant to have had an oil service, but I'm not convinced by that oil filter. The air filter was good though. And I don't know if this head has been off before. I guess I'll find out when I take the rocker cover off, possibly. But there was loads of silicone around here, rather than just the seal, which was on the housing here, the Baron Von. So yeah, it should have just had a seal in there, but it was silicone to death. So, but to be honest, I mean that could be a new. Yeah, it looks relatively new, that. So possibly they've just replaced that and put silicone around it as well. I don't know. You wouldn't have thought the head's been off already at 67,000 mile. But you got to remember, it is a Vauxhall. Anything's possible. Right, so I've got to take the exhaust manifold off now. So take that heat shield off, get the exhaust manifold bolts out. Hopefully they come out easy. Yeah, and then I'll take the injector rail out, and then I'll be able to get to the bolts to take out the inlet manifold. Take that away from the head, that away from the head, then I can take the rocker cover off, camshafts. This is where I'm going to have to lock the engine. I'm sure I've got the locking tool, which I'll find them. Yeah, but basically, yeah, I need to take this end part off, end cover if you like, and that'll give us access to the chain. So we'll have the chain that drives from the crankshaft, cams, why couldn't I think of that? Yeah, anyway, yeah, crankshaft, camshaft. Yeah, so take the chain off, and then I'll be able to take the head bolts out and take the head off. Dilly. Right, intake manifold off, exhaust manifold. Now I don't know if the head's been off, but the exhaust has definitely been off. So whether it's been a problem with the turbo in the past, the reason I know that is there's 8 bolts there. That one there didn't have a bolt in, so I've got 7 nuts altogether. And as soon as I took all them out apart from that one, this came out, which is situated that one there underneath, which is really difficult to get to, I guess, which a bit of a godsend for myself, because I haven't had to get it out, but it does mean somebody's had this off before. It's just a worry, because if this has had a head gasket done and it's failed again, then there could be something wrong with the block, unless they never got the head pressure tested. It might need a new head, I'll have to see. Okay, so I've got to take the cover off now, on the side, on the top, and just start stripping that down. There's a couple of bolts I've got to take off underneath, so if I remember rightly from the sump, yeah, but I'll work it out. A bit of blood down there, bit of spanner rash, dilly. Okay. I'm getting more and more convinced now that this has had the head off before and been skimmed and put back on. The reason I say that, this is the timing chain cover, which I've obviously got to remove. This is the cylinder head. The join here, if I push the screwdriver up, it's not flush on both sides. And it should be flush. I mean, it's only, it's marginal, but it's not flush. So that means the head's been skimmed. Just took a little bit off, and now it doesn't match up flush with the cover. Also the chain, I mean, it is hard to tell with the chain, but I'm thinking that is a new chain. So I think it has had a cylinder head kit and a timing chain kit, exactly where I've bought for it. I'll know more when I take the guides out. Yeah, I'll be able to tell from the guides if they're which are down there, if they're new when I take them out, and I'll be able to see if the guides and the gasket, there's basically a whole gasket that goes on here, I'll be able to see if it's a GM one or an aftermarket, and that'll confirm 100% if it's been done before, because I'm guessing whoever's done it wouldn't have put a GM one on, it would have been an aftermarket. Right, I can't find my tool that goes in here for the timing, so I could pretty much guesstimate. I know how to do that. I've just got to rotate this until I can find the top dead center, and then there is, if I remember rightly, somewhere down the bottom on the crankshaft, you undo a bolt or a cover, and then you put a pin in. I think I've got the pin, I'm quite sure that's it. Basically you push this pin in and it locks the crankshaft. At the same time, these cutouts on the side of here will line up, and you normally get a bar that goes in, pushes in, and that makes the camshaft in line with the crankshaft, or in time. And then I can remove the cover and take the chain off and take the camshafts off. Happy days. I shall crack on now and get top dead center, get it locked off, and then start to take the timing chain cover off. Dilly. Right, so I've turned the crankshaft now. You can see there I've got the my bar in to the grooves on both camshafts. I can see the top of the piston is at top dead center, and I know I'm on the compression stroke because the cam there is going to meet the lifter on the exhaust side. That's the intake side, which is pointing that way. That's got to go all the way over and then push down on the rocker to open the inlet valve. So that means this has only got a small part to go before it opens the exhaust valve. So we're definitely on compression stroke. We're at top dead center. I've just got to find now where the bolt is to take out, so I can get the pin in and lock the camshaft. The crankshaft. And then I'm happy days. Dilly. Right, so I've been through the bottom left wheel arch, or the bottom right if you like. There was a plug to take out, which I found in there. That is the locking pin for the crankshaft. So I basically pushed that in. I just turned the crankshaft a little bit, wiggled it about till it fitted in nice and flush. And then, as I found out, the bar was in fact the correct bar. So yeah, I've just moved the camshafts with a spanner on there just to jiggle them a little tiny fraction, and got that pushed in. So that is now crankshaft and camshafts locked in at top dead center. It kind of doesn't really matter about this. It is important when I put it back together so I can get the timing correct. The reason I say that is the camshafts are coming out and the chain's coming off, but it just does show that it is at top dead center. The other, as I said before, yeah, the exhaust cam is pointing towards the front of the car, and the inlet is pointing more or less towards the rear. Right, it's getting dark now, so tomorrow's another day. I can crack on taking the pulley off, all the timing cover off on this side, and then I'm ready to take the chain off. Once the chain's off, I can then take the head off. Dilly. This is all the kit for the Mokka to do the cylinder head. So we've got all the gaskets in there, head gasket, all rubber seals, rocker cover gaskets, exhaust, intake, the lot. Paid extra for the chain kit. So a brand new chain, guides, tensioner, which will be in there. And then we've got the new stretch bolts to put the cylinder head back on. And some motion lotion, yeah, ultra lube, get in. Happy days, dilly.